busy girl. She's just come off Sky. No, washing her
GB,
mouth
GB
out,
News.
TV News, and basically we're going to talk a little bit what she said, but there's so much to talk about. But something as a carry forward from last week was Oxbridge. Don't go to private schools if you want to get into Oxford or Cambridge. You won't get in there. So
No,
everybody's going to Durham. Why? Because they've got that DEI, they've got a quota for black, they've got a quota for brown, they've got a quota for how much your parents earning. Believe you me, and a white, clever Caucasian guy or gal cannot get in there anymore.
no, but they're better off going to Durham anyway. I mean, my daughter went to Durham and they've got some brilliant lecturers there. It's
Yeah.
a smaller university, it's a beautiful setting up there. And so many people that get into business that my daughter's met along the way since qualifying have been to Durham. And I've always thought I was pleased she didn't get into the other two and that she was in Durham. She had a wonderful time there. It's a brilliant university, and I think it's right to be second. So Imperial College, I think, came top. But the trouble is, my son could have got in there, but it's because living in London is expensive. But Durham is a fantastic uni, fantastic. And
Yeah.
there's only about 6,000 students there, I think, as well, from what
And
I
nice
remember.
folks up there.
It's lovely. And my daughter rode for Durham as well. She was in the Heads of the River race.
No, don't mention the weather though. That's the other thing. But you should be studying inside anyway. They are recommendation again. We got another recommendation that we mentioned last week because it's now becoming apparent how important ladies are. They always have been. But if you stay at home, girls, looking after your kids for the first few years, oh, it's so much better. And you will yourself reap the benefits. But we've done a comparison on childhood in Spain, where we are at the moment, and childhood in England. And you'll notice you do a supermarket test, and the behavior of the little ones
No.
in a supermarket, you think it, and it is not good in parts of UK, but in Spain, it's called super overindulgence. And they're screaming and it pierces your eardrums. And like no other screen can. Well,
I had one today in Tesco, and I thought, who is that child? You could hear it all around the shop.
that's it. And why do mum and dad they sort of give them a call now? There we are, darling. What do you want? Now it's tradition in Spain. Whether they love the kids more than we do, but they certainly love the kids. But if you get a little brat, it only grows up into a big brat.
Yeah, well, it's of course they are. I mean, the thing is, there's standards. And I've always, I mean, and this has gone on for years over here. I've always, if I went into a supermarket when my kids were little, I would take snacks with me that were like in a little pot. Yeah. But you see, time and again, for years it's gone on. People think, oh, the child is screaming. So they take off a box of raisins or they take off some crisps. And then they get to the checkout and there's this empty packet that's got to go through the till. You're basically teaching your child to shoplift.
Yes.
You want something, you just take it off the shelves and eat it. I mean, if you do that with an apple, you can't put it through anywhere, can you? I've always thought it's gone on. I mean, my children are now, my eldest son is 45. And I mean, even when he was a little boy, this was going on. And I thought, what is wrong with you? It's awful. I find it really, really awful that parents just don't, well, we know about
Your
parenting, don't we?
eldest son is 45. You must have got married when you were about
I
50.
was a child bride.
Oh, child bride. Oh, that's another thing, but we
Oh,
won't. Yeah.
I shouldn't have said anything. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to mention, and that is, and this will wind her up again, of course, £1 in six universal benefits. That's a lot, one in six, go to migrants, illegal
Oh,
and smuggled
Kelsey,
people.
Kelsey.
Yeah, yeah. And they're supposed to be saying, although it's not gone through, it's put on ice again, like everything else this government does. Well, you have to wait 5 years or even 10 years. Where's the legislation? Why hasn't it gone through immediately?
Well, he just does what he wants. He just comes out with stuff, and there's no discussion in Westminster or anything like that. I mean, I've been right off on one today about all of this. I am sick to death of human rights lawyers, at the Dover where they get off the boats and then all this, that, and the other and deal with their claims and appeals and all that. But what about our human rights? What about we have human rights as well? And people here we pay our taxes. We've lived here all our time, and the demographic of this country is radically changing. You had a dad on the other night. He did a brilliant interview with you the other day. And there's also another march taking place in my old town, city, Southampton. They're doing exactly the same thing, and they're marching from a pub called the Cowhurst Pub. I used to live around the corner from it, and they're marching up the avenue, and they're going to where these migrants are put in Highfield, which is an area of Southampton, which is right next door to a university student accommodation. And all the people have been given rape alarms. I mean, for goodness sake, I
Unbelievable,
still
isn't it?
maintain put these Nightingale camps, they just have, if they, I just don't understand it. Take the goodies away, take the benefits away. You come over here, there's a Nightingale camp in the middle of nowhere, there's tents that you're going to sit in there until you're processed and you can't come out and walk around the streets. See how you like it now. If I don't understand why that's so hard. I just don't understand it. And you've got people who are our own people, families that have no homes because of, new houses are built. Guess who moves in? The illegal migrants. And they're living in one bedrooms in hotels. It's themselves. It's just dreadful. It's dreadful. I am so wound up about it. I'm sick of it. I'm really sick of it. And I don't know when this country is finally going to actually react against Starmer.
We must say, UK ahead of the game, without a doubt, in Europe. We know many countries in Europe because we work here, and they've got a similar problem, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
nowhere near to what we have. Let me tell you, and we've said this so many times, but hopefully it does get through. There is a hidden agenda in many of the things we're going to talk to about rather tonight, and that being they want a fundamental change into a globalist Marxist government.
Yeah, oh,
That's what it's all
100%.
about. And
100%.
they are
It's
achieving
not
it
difficult.
by
Yeah,
stealth.
oh, absolutely. It's not difficult to see. It is patently obvious. It's transparently obvious because you can't keep on saying we'll do this, we'll do that, and do nothing about it. If you really wanted to change it, you could change it. You own your own country. Donald Trump said the same thing. Look what he's done. He's stopped the Mexican problem down there. You can just change it. And why should we be worried about ECHR? Why should we be? We don't belong to Europe anymore.
Yeah,
But it's,
on ECHR, of course, this is part of what the blob lawyer club stands for, and it's all about globalism again. But as you mentioned, the Donalds, we'll go over to Illinois in the States, and they've got a particular problem with illegal immigrants. So what do? They send in the National Guard,
God,
which is a type of extra police force, and they immediately arrest 1,500 people. Immediately. And most of these are criminals. They're either pedos, vicious gang members, drug dealers, or armed robbers, the vast majority. Now, it can be done.
we don't have a National Guard though, do we? We'd have to bring in the army, wouldn't we?
I don't care what we bring in.
But you see, I said the other day I did something else on media, and I said I just had this thought, in the middle of the night the other night, and I said, if we were to facilitate dodgy people that we didn't know their history, and they went round raping and assaulting kids, wouldn't it be a crime to facilitate it?
It would, with some clever lawyers, certainly it would.
So isn't Keir Starmer facilitating it?
He's culpable, of course he is.
So I don't understand how he gets away with that. Because if you and I did it, if we kept having loads of people coming through that were raping and pillaging the local ladies and the children, I mean, we'd be stopped by the police, wouldn't we? Wouldn't we be arrested?
No, you'd have to open your mouth and be a good Christian, and that will be regarded as hate speech. It's bizarre. The whole thing is, you referred to that interview I did with Mr. Timms.
Yeah,
Bless him, head above the parapet. Well done, him. He got
yeah.
on his backside, even though he's not well, and did something about it. And one question I asked him, would you have thought for 1 second, 10 years ago, that I would and you would have come across in Hillingdon in this case, people that are clearly should be either behind bars or not let in the country, and your children, your grandchildren, your wives cannot go out in the daytime. Never,
Terrible. It's
never,
absolutely dreadful.
never
It's
envisaged.
absolutely dreadful. But you see, you go back in time. And I can remember, I don't know how old I was at the time, but I can remember saying, should not open the borders. You open the borders and you're going to get a deluge. And that's exactly what's happened.
It is, and one must also drill a bit further down on this because it's not only Labour that
Oh, no, no, no. Oh,
they are
no.
doubly the problem. And if I hear them saying it's all the Tories' fault again,
No, no, no.
in the last
It's
14
all of it,
years,
the whole lot of
they,
them.
they've made it twice as bad. But they thought, the reasoning goes, that by letting people in, getting cheap labour, that it would help the economy. Well, now we've got the figures. It's not helped the economy because friends and family are in, and it's costing us a fortune.
Yes,
In this
and
case,
the Polish people, did you read that the other day? The Poles who did give cheap labor and excellent service and were completely trustworthy and hardworking, their whole financial situation in Poland is better than here. They've gone back and stuff over there has now really mightily improved.
yeah, as we mentioned last week, Lithuania are about to overtake
Yes,
Britain in the richest country in the
yes,
region.
yes, yes.
Wonderful. Now, we've mentioned who is culpable. Let me say that many newspapers are because they adopt this blob line. Certainly, the BBC is wicked. It's had to apologise, of course,
Oh,
making this stupid documentary with one of the Hamas leader's sons.
oh,
I
unbelievable.
mean, how could
But you, I mean, you couldn't make it up, could you? Didn't they do any due diligence? Did they not think they should, given that the area that they were working in and the corruption that goes on over there? Wouldn't I mean? It's unbelievable. Why we still pay our license is beyond me.
absolutely right. Every program is been wokeized.
Oh, it's terrible.
Even
It's
Dragon's
terrible.
Den, and we've mentioned that before.
I can't listen
Uh,
to it. I cannot listen to
no,
BBC anymore.
unless it's a tearjerker, let's go to Dragon's Den. Unless somebody's in a wheelchair and trying to make a business, then they don't go on anymore. It's got to tug the tears, and of course you've got lots of celebrities prepared to do this. And the celebrities are overpaid, underworked. And as we know, when we're trying to get more stuff out there about abuse, the first thing they ask, oh, have you got a celebrity to present it? I'm sorry, we want a person that knows what they're talking about, not a celeb.
I know, and that is also where documentaries are going. So my story, for example, yeah, would have had it's still on the back burner to be made into some sort of documentary. But had I been a celebrity, it would now have been all produced.
Yes, of course.
And I think that's wrong because celebrities have the money, have the contacts to get into the front line and in front of a camera, whereas somebody like myself, who's just an ordinary mum who did something that nobody else had ever done and all the rest of it and has made their life out of like helping people with, who have been abused. I mean, to me, and I would say it because it's me, wouldn't I? But people like myself and others, that Maggie Oliver's another one, I mean, lots of people. I mean, Pride of Britain is on tonight, apparently. Have done it in remarkable, ordinary people have done extraordinary things. But if you're a celebrity, oh, that's worth reading through the muck, isn't it? It just is so vacuous.
It
It's
is. And when you
unbelievable.
say there are good celebrities that do a
Oh, of
lot
course
of
there are,
charity.
but they want the sleazy slime. Well, of course. Who better to be sleazy and slimy than the scumbag Andrew? I mean, he
I wonder
needs.
how far I got before that name. Listen,
Oh, I
you're on one here, aren't you, with Andrew?
I am on one. I am on one. I mean,
What's he done wrong? That nice looking.
have you not seen that YouTube thing I sent you?
Yes.
It's unbelievable. I mean, well, he must have been on constant Viagra. I mean, this police officer said it was like his bedroom door was like the revolving doors in a hotel that he was paying. These women were going back in police cars. So he wasn't even using. And then there was one police officer, protection officer, when he was playing. It's ever so funny because he said, "Oh, I've seen him sweat because when he was playing golf and all that." He said, "The man is such a liar." And he said the police protection officers were basically his bull boys when he played golf. He was the most obnoxious scumbag. He really is. It should be an act of parliament to take away his title. I mean, he needs to be extradited to the New York. There's a lot of stuff behind that man that needs to be out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of, again, rage because you've got to be careful here. The anti-monarchists are making hay. Maybe they're right, but they're say in Andrew's case, they're really putting him out to dry.
Mm.
That's probably what he needs. And they're saying the palace was aware of all this 10 years ago. They should
Oh,
have
of course they
been
were.
then.
Of course they were. Of course they were. Cover up, the same as anything else. But on the other hand, though, he's family, isn't he? So you can understand in a way. But I mean, I think he's brought such such shame. And there we are today with the king praying with the Pope. Oh, please. Well, his paedophile brother. And you are talking about a man who was disloyal to his wife and married his mistress. The whole thing is so sordid.
Yeah. Look, we'll move on to a thing that Spanish are traditionally uh, loving every day of the week, it appears, is that fiesta. And there is a thing over here called a
Yes.
puente. So if you have a bad week and your Saint's Day falls on a Saturday, oh, we'll make a puente of this. In other words, they'll take Friday off,
Yes.
Saturday and Sunday. They're smart. They're not stupid. But I'll tell you what, there's something coming out of this that is not good. This very week that the Donald was doing his best to try and get certain things sorted out with Gaza, long road there, we know that. They held a national strike, for a 3-day working week, the usual impossible task. But mainly it was in favor of the Palestinians, and they were marching
Oh,
and they were saying that this is a massacre of Palestine by, and of course it's coming from the left again. Now, hang on. Anybody with half a brain will tell you the reason why probably 4 times as many Palestinians died was the fact that their soldiers put in the front line cannon fodder, which
yes.
children,
Yeah,
hospitals,
yeah, 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 yeah.
nurseries, and
Yeah.
they don't mention that. They just go out on strike. This is the left, and it's happened in Britain. They're very weak. And if you look at who's in these marches, most of them are foreigners.
Yeah. Well, see that my daughter is over from Bermuda at the moment, right? And they are. I mean, they just don't get it. I said, you've come over here. You've been staying in a very nice posh golf club for 3 days while I had the children, which was very lovely. But I said, you think coming to Britain is just walking up and down the Brompton Road and going to Kensington Gardens and watching the soldiers exercise their horses. You haven't got a clue what Britain's like. You have not got a diddly squat clue. And I said, and so now she wants me to go into London on Saturday. I said, I don't want to go into London. Oh, well, what's wrong with you? Do you watch too much GB News? I said, well, GB News is now the main media channel.
Yep.
It's consistently and growing. And I said, so you can't knock it because the only news you're listening to in Bermuda is BBC or Sky, which is so sanitized, it's boring. But I said, you just don't understand it. You don't understand. I said, I am frightened of going in and Oh, for goodness sake, that's probably a part of London. I said, but they've still got to go on the tubes. They've still got to get there to go on the trains. And oh, so my son-in-law says, oh, it's like all these things when you read them in the news. It's just a small part. That's all. I said, you haven't seen the news, have you?
No, I understand what they're saying, and in the past that has been so. But I think we're at the tipping point, and maybe we have actually tipped.
Well, I think we've tipped, but I mean, no one's doing anything about it, are they?
No. Well, we're no longer in a democracy. I'll give you an
Oh,
example.
100%.
We've had lots of complaints this last year for the local elections by subterfuge. They decided not to hold that. There was this reason and that reason. They are doing it in shed loads for next May.
Yes.
They're stopping us voting in local elections. That is democratic, is it?
There is no democracy here. He's an absolute control freak. He's a Marxist. No, no, free speech. Oh, he must be joking. It's laughable. It really is. It's just dreadful. I mean, and you can't, why? It's our democratic right to vote. So, I mean, just to try and rig it because he's terrified of reform. I mean, that is so wrong. It shouldn't be allowed. It shouldn't be allowed.
It's been rigged on a lot of things. Before we go into the real rigging, there's an item here. We're not timid, us two. We get into stuff that is dangerous.
It is actually.
See?
It is dangerous.
And I'll tell you what it's about. It's called hereditarism, and I can't pronounce that again. It's the nearest I can get. It means that you are what your heritage has bred in through mum
Yeah,
and dad.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And there is an American, Nathan Kofnus, who is a professor at Cambridge University in Emmanuel College, and he shot his mouth off. The first thing he said is DEI is the devil. And it is.
Oh, it's true.
And it's festering in our universities. They didn't like that, of course, so they banned him. But then he came out with some more figures. He says, let's look at reality. Put your crash helmet on here. We're not saying that we agree with him. We're just saying what he said. Make up your own mind. He's been privy to Harvard University, which is our Oxford and Cambridge, if you wish, in the States there, and they have come out with some unusual figures. And it's based on IQ, that literally there should be only 0.07% of pupils that are black in the college if you're looking at IQ. Now, there's a caveat coming on this. And there is downside more percentage of that are black. And he based it on the following, on IQ tests that have just been published. Average black IQ test, 85. Average Caucasian white tests, 100. Average Asian, 103.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And yeah, we know why. And we see the achievers. Now, if you are choosing your intake for all the DEI stupid
Hmm.
reasons, you're going to go down the pan and very shortly and lose your status of a number one university, Oxbridge being in mind. Now, both of us have been in teacher training, that's the old word, college. And one of the first things we studied, because it was the nature of our IQ in those days, was IQ. Beware, you can be coached with IQ. So it's not the be all and end all if a person's IQ is 120 and the other person's
No,
got
it isn't because
150.
it doesn't mean you've got common sense.
Exactly. There's lots of things like uh, who your parents, where you're living.
But absolutely, oh, absolutely. But having said this, I mean, you can't get away from the fact that I think the Indians are incredibly gifted with technology,
Hmm.
and they
And the
are,
Chinese.
oh, and the Chinese, absolutely. But I can never understand why. You've got India and Pakistan next to each other, and they are just polar opposites of their belief systems and how they live.
Well,
It's
they hate each other. It's
Oh, I know
incredible.
they do. I know they do. But we didn't help that situation, did we either? You
No,
know,
we gave them
you
cricket,
know,
mind
but
you.
but they, well, yeah, what was it? I can't remember, he drew a line or something. Was it Montgomery or somebody that got in Mountbatten or somebody was that got involved in it? I said drawing this line, demarcation line between India and Pakistan as to how many Hindus lived here, wasn't it? And how many? Absolutely bonkers. It really is absolutely crazy. But yeah, I mean, just because you're um, a friend of mine, colleague actually, she was on an interview panel today for students, people coming in, and she said not one of them was white, not one. And she said most of them were from Nigeria or anywhere, but she said I couldn't even understand them. So you do these interviews over, I do them as well, but you do them over Zoom sort of thing. And and I said, well, that would be because the university is so hooked on its DEI or DIE, whatever it's
Yeah,
called.
exactly that.
And she said I couldn't even understand them. And they're supposed to be going this. It was to do with the NHS. I wish I must have to look at it on my phone I can't remember the actual ethnicity. Let me just see. They were so I would say most of them were Nigerian, and I couldn't I just could not understand a word they were saying. There wasn't one white person in the interviews.
Yeah. Well, there are various reasons. We're not taking sides. Those are just the facts, guys. Let's talk about it. Don't let's being accused of ultra right wing or anti-far. No, we're not.
He's
Those are
not.
the
He
figures.
just wants to protect his country. I mean, whether you like him or not, and lots of people don't, I don't think there's ever been a leader or probably a head teacher or a chair of a business that is where that organization is successful. If you are a leader, you don't expect to be liked all the time. You have to do things that you instinctively and intelligently know is the right decision to make. And you discuss it and you make your arguments, but you don't do what Starmer's doing. It just comes out and says, I mean, he is an embarrassment. He really, I mean, I can't, I just don't know how I can stand another 4 years of this man.
You and many others. Let's
But I don't understand why his backbenchers, they must be so damn weak because why aren't they doing a vote of no confidence in him? Why aren't they doing that? But then
it's
on the other hand, if he
well,
went, who else is there? They haven't got anyone.
it's the quality of MPs from
Oh, it's
all
terrible.
parties,
No,
but
they are. They're
especially the
awful.
Labour Party.
No, no, they are awful.
Uh,
There's no one there. No one there with experience.
right, GBN News has a Saturday night program, and Dr. Renee is on there. And she had a rant that was beautiful
Mm,
this week. She feels in the United Kingdom, she's on another planet, basically. She is being controlled. And she is being controlled, and so are the rest of us.
mm,
And she gives a list. Well, there's the ID card for a start. There's the taxes and how they can now get into your bank account
absolutely.
direct. There's tons of things that are being signed off behind
Yes.
our backs.
Yes, absolutely. And they're not even discussed in the House.
No,
How can you just make these decisions? And then, oh, what's the name come out with Shabana, whatever her name is, tell us something we didn't know. The Home Office is not fit for purpose. Oh, really? You actually need to tell us that? It hasn't been fit for purpose for about 30 years.
and the rest probably. I'm going to change the subject radically. Light bulbs, but it's another cost. Let's turn the lights on. Well, again, it's down to the net zero for now,
Oh, God.
and
Miliband.
we've got and co. We've got to have these new LEDs now. Every new house has got LEDs, and they last 5 minutes. They last less long in many
Yes,
places
yes.
than incandescent. Yeah, that's what we are. Light bulb, and they're about depends which one you get 10 times the price.
Oh, they're so
And
expensive.
well, I tell you the reason for it. It's very simple. if you put one of these bulbs, and most of us do, in an enclosed area, because it's actually in the ceiling void, then there's a part of that bulb, it's quite clever and computerized, a little chip that gets overheated and it goes pop. It's
Yeah.
not the actual LED that goes, it's the little chip. And it's a nonsense. Again, they've gone into something without true knowledge, without really
Quick
testing it.
fix. Quick
Quickly.
fix.
And we've got to put up with this and pay a fortune for our light bulbs and keep and changing one of these beggars if you've got
Oh
a
God,
high
don't.
ceiling.
Oh, it's awful.
You
If you've
need
got difficulty with your hands and fingers,
exactly.
I mean, I have to use my nails just to get it is awful. And I had
Don't
three
don't
of them pop in my kitchen the other day, and
that's
I thought,
right.
oh
Don't
no.
call in an electrician. It's 30 quid a
Oh,
bulb.
it's terrible. And it's so difficult. And I couldn't get the thing back into the light thing because it's up in like the under cupboard thing. And I couldn't get the one of the parts, the like thing that would reflect it more. I couldn't get it over the stupid blooming light bulb because they've actually changed the thickness of it so it couldn't go through the little filter thing.
No, no.
Oh my goodness
It
me.
is metal.
It's horrendous. I don't know
It
how old people with like chubby fingers that can't see, because you really got to get under it to find the two little holes that you put the thing in. It's awful.
if you're buying them yourself from, as it were, Amazon, you can get a far better deal. But make
Oh,
sure
I hadn't thought of that.
the outer casing is metal, which allows it surprisingly to cool down a bit rather than plastic.
Yeah.
Do last longer. You've got a choice, you pay a
I
bit
don't know why I
more.
didn't think of that. Why did I not say I live on Amazon? Why didn't I think?
Well, there you go, you can get them at half the price.
I think it was because I was so desperate. I had to go to the supermarket because my kitchen was dark, and I thought, why? Pop, pop, pop.
I know, and they pack them nicely and you pay a fortune. And the colour range is
Oh,
important. It varies from about 1500, which is quite warm, to about 6000.
and then you've
That's
got warm white.
that's icy cold.
But
Go
you've
for
got,
something about 2500 is the tip.
but you've got then the color. Do you want warm white? Do you want glow white?
Exactly. Two and a
Do you
half
want
thousand
bright white? I
is the
just want
place to
something
go.
that works.
And that's the sort of medium. It won't make the place look completely like an operating theatre. It makes it warm without too warm. There you go. That's the tip of the week. I'll give you another tip of the week now. Portugal, where we happen to be resident, has done it again. Small country. Perhaps it's more agile being small. They banned the burqa
I know.
and the
As has
niqab as well.
somebody
Boom!
else has as well. So is Italy.
And so's Italy. We mentioned that last week. And if you're wearing one, you can get fined up to €4,000.
Quite right. Quite right. Because it's again, live as you do as you would be done by, live in the country as you would not, as I've said before, when I went to see Dubai, when my daughter lived in Dubai, and then the rules were you don't show the tops of your arms, you don't wear shorts. You would have been arrested and put in prison if you didn't, we don't dress like that. And not only that, you don't know who's behind. It could be a man with makeup on. You don't know who's behind. I think it's incredibly intimidating. I really do. And I think
It
it's right. I mean, I don't have a problem with them covering their hair because their hair, I think, is a very personal thing in their religion, isn't it? That you're the person you love. You don't. I think I'm right in saying that you don't. Once the child, a girl, has started her periods, she covers her hair. This is a very family thing, and it's an intimate thing with your partner. But that I can understand that. But not your face. And I'm sure the face thing is only because in where they live, there's a lot of sand and dust and all of that. I don't think it's in the Quran, is it? About it's
well,
extremely intimidating.
there's various books in Islam
Oh God.
that you can
I,
read.
I I think they're right. We won't do it, of course, because oh no, Keir Starmer loves the Muslims, doesn't he?
The Prime Minister, and this is a left-wing country, Portugal, not as left-wing as UK, and certainly not as left-wing as Spain, but it is left-wing. He said, respect our culture, please. That's
Yeah.
all.
And
Respect
do you
our
think
culture.
Spain will do this? Do you think it will spread across Europe?
I do think so
Yeah,
because
I think it will because Italy and Portugal are unusual ones to go first, really, aren't they? You just thought Spain, France, Germany, I said Italy, and but I was really surprised when I read about Portugal. I thought, well, good for you.
Yeah, well done then. Right, we're going to talk about ping pong migrants that go
Oh
out the
God,
country
yes,
and come back for another. They can't wait to come back.
they're called boomerang migrants.
Can you not see, Sir Keir? You're a complete and utter Wally.
One in, two out, one in, and one comes back.
And 11,000 are in anyway
Oh,
during
it's
the
just
same
dreadful.
period.
It's a joke. It's not a joke, is it? It's now I'm now getting really disturbed by it all. I really am.
Marilyn, they do not want to change it. They
I
could
know. I know. And
immediately.
but what worries me is by the time if this I can't really get my head around having to go through another nearly 4 years of this man in charge. I just can't. I mean I'm going to have to because I've got no other opportunity. But I mean I'm so worried about my grandchildren and what it's doing it's just awful. When you saw James Timms on the other day, and it's the same in Southampton, and as I say, look what's happening in Ireland, and it's everywhere. And it's just like an avalanche. It is an invasion. Who was it that said it? Was it Priti Patel or was it Suella Braverman? Someone described it as an invasion. It is an invasion. It is an invasion.
Well, he's accused, Sir Keir, of being too weak to stand up to his backbenchers.
Well, yeah, but hang on a minute. The backbenchers are frightened of losing their jobs because they have the whip taken away from them, won't they?
Yes,
They're more worried about their jobs.
jobs and jobs. Mr. Khan's got a good job, and there's been some digging into Mr. Khan, and he appears
Oh,
not to be what he pretends to be. He is a moderate Muslim. No, he's not.
no, he's not.
He's
Absolutely,
been
he's
on the
not.
left, and he's extreme.
And extremely thick because he didn't understand the question, did he?
No,
About
what do you mean by that?
what do you mean when you're asking me about did I know about exploitation gangs in
Yeah.
London?
Well,
Well, I've
what are
known.
rape gangs?
If I knew, how come he didn't know?
I mean, the
It's
lady that was questioning him nearly threw a handbag at him, quite frankly.
well, I mean,
And
but what's he still doing in post? When is he up for being a
I'm not sure, actually. It's got to be 2 years.
Oh, I can't stand the man. He's a little weed. I cannot stand him. He's a little slime ball. He really is. And he's a lying little git. I cannot stand him. I
Well,
can't. He's a weasel. That's the word. He's a weasel.
yes, you could write the fairies
I'm
tale
on form
there.
tonight.
And oh, you'll like this one, and you know about it. This is just one out of the hat. There are many, many others, and that's the people that are caught in the act and actually put in jail. A certain gentleman had 17 convictions: drugs, knives, theft, everything you can think of, rape, and he was put away for 5 years. And we put up with him from, well, what it means is that he's out in 18 months doing his raping, and
But
it's
it's the same.
unconscionable.
But it's the same thing what he said when they said about we're going to let out prisoners that are not a threat to society. They are going to let out paedophiles and violent offenders and rapists. Why can't he let out the people like Lucy Connolly, the people that shouldn't be in there in the first place? I mean, but he's going to so you're going to let those out to add on to the migrant problem that we've got with all the rapists and all the rest of it. And I know before we came on air, I said to you there's a case in another asylum seeker, illegal one, not been processed, who raped somebody, and he hasn't been charged because it might he might hurt his feelings. I mean, what is wrong with these people? And then you look at Sweden, which was atrocious. Sweden, some poor girl was raped, and he's been let off because the rape wasn't long enough. I mean, how long does it have to last for?
Well, you'd need your stopwatch out, wouldn't you?
Oh, it's just awful. I mean, it's beyond contempt. It really is. I mean, and the cost to mental health of people that have been suffering with this
Oh, mega.
is going to be huge.
The
I mean,
suffering.
it's just, I am really at the point of, I think, exploding. I woke up at 3 o'clock this morning, like, I just feel so confused and angry, and I don't understand why it's happening, and yet I do understand why it's happening. But there's no decency, there's no morality, there's no.
It's exactly that. What about the teacher? Because this is where the woke brigade are going. Up in the north, loses his job. Yes, he came through an agency and he was a temp teacher. And he goes before that and puts 150 flags, Union flag and George's cross, up on the lampposts. And this gets back to the school he's been allocated to, and they get rid of him
I mean,
because it was a health and safety issue, endangering people with the flags. That's how the
are they talking about? You can do what you want in your private time. I mean,
not anymore. You can't
see,
because
I tell you what I'm worried about. I am very worried about the poppy thing that the appeal started today. And I mean, goodness me, God help them if somebody starts upsetting that. Because that is would be such an insult, but I wouldn't put it past them.
well, this
I'm
particular
surprised
guy,
Starmer's allowing it.
yes, this particular guy, when he walks down the street, everybody's congratulating him. Well done,
Absolutely.
mate. But the council aren't because, of course, they're of the left wing variety.
Oh,
Look, we can complain, which we do, but if you're targeted by the woke brigade, which he clearly was, this will be on his deep diving BDS report.
absolutely. DBS it will be.
That's killed his job future.
It's dreadful. What harm was he doing? He was just being patriotic. What harm was he doing? I mean, I mean, I just, it's like when somebody was sacked the other day because they refused to use a pronoun badge. I mean, I wouldn't. I would be unemployable now in a school. I truly would be unemployable. And then there was one the other day, didn't I? I don't know if we talked about it or not, where um, uh, I think we did, but it's worth saying again. This was a Muslim teacher in a primary school, and he was wanting everybody to pray to Allah. And this little 6-year-old boy said, "I'm a Christian. I'm not praying to Allah." And he said, "Oh, when you're in year six, you'll all be praying to Allah." I mean, that is terrifying. And that thought of that they are winning what they always set out to do, which is taking over the world and spreading I mean, oh, I'm beyond words. It's so
Well,
sad. It's so sad. It's so frightening. And I am worried that how will we, I don't know how we can turn the tide. I don't know how far further do we have to drop to the bottom of the cesspit and beyond
well,
before
we
we can
want
turn this
more.
around?
We want more, Mr. Timms.
Absolutely. Absolutely right. And I mean, and what by him standing up and being that parent that, right, I'm going out there, I'm going to do, I mean, but I blame the school. The school should definitely have said, well, look, these migrants have ripped down all the mesh. Come on, we've got 640 kids in this school. They will have a caretaker. You have a caretaker when it's that. Get that and a few dads to do it. Though that head teacher has not protected those children at all. She stayed very, very out of it. It's just not right. And good for him. Good for him. And I did say to him, once you put your head above the parapet, you've got to be expected to be knocked down. You will get some nasty messages, and you've just got to, you have to ride over it and continue to be upstanding and not a bystander. And
Well,
I still say too many people in this country are still bystanders. They don't want to get involved. And it's the same thing with the Jess Phillips thing that, with the inquiry, the rape gang inquiry, that it should be judge led, but now they're saying the judges and the barristers and the lawyers don't want to chair it because it might taint their reputation. If you are a representative of the law, then you should be doing it whatever it does to your reputation. That is your job. You represent the law and justice I couldn't believe it when I heard that today that they
Yeah.
don't want to do it because of that. It's outrageous.
Well, it's worse than that. We'll come on to that in a second. But before then, get the old blood pressure going. Gen Z, employers are now getting fed up with Gen Z, in the office, especially. Why? What's going on in the office? Well, they're flakes. Um, they don't. I've got a list of them here. Number one, they don't like answering telephones. They prefer to email. That drives me round the bend,
Mhm.
because I am not a swift typist and I don't want to waste 10 times as much. And I can say that much when I talk to people. But no, they're hiding, basically. This is a bit sad. Secondly, they would prefer to text you. Of course, you can put people off, can't you? If you're speaking to them, you can't make an excuse. Oh, well, we don't want to be upset. They're always going on about psychological problems, usually their own. The management are particularly fed up. They're like an agony aunt to a lot of these people now. And I'm not here to be an agony aunt. You've got to work, but they don't want to. They're demanding safe spaces because they might get too upset with the public and somebody complains. We want a safe place to go to.
I understand having safe toilets. I wouldn't want to go into a toilet
Oh,
with a
no,
tramp.
no, different issue, but I know what you mean. They have distinct lack of respect to anybody in
Yes.
management, distinct lack of respect. In fact, I came across this in Spain the other day, talking to one of my Spanish friends. He said, he's had enough. It's over here as well, folks. We're going to give you a pay rise, because she demanded a pay rise, this particular lady. Okay, we'll give you a pay rise. That's not enough. I'm going to think about it. Now, that was a sackable offence in the good old days, and should be still. If you don't like the job, you don't go on.
But they're also arriving late, aren't they? They don't come in on
They
time.
want, that's on the list. They
Oh,
want
it's
to
on the list, is
arrive
it? Right.
late and they want to come in, certainly not early. And they want to leave when they feel like it, well before the going home time. The other thing that is coming out of this, a lot of them are wearing noise cancelling earphones because they like listening to music.
Oh,
We can work better listening to
that's
music.
why they can't answer the phone because they can't hear it.
Could be that, or they spend so many 2 and 3 days a week at home, and they're used to Netflix, etc., and they can't work without a diversion. Next is that they dress down, i.e., beachwear, and not business wear. And what can you do? Standards again, Marilyn. They are fixated on wellness and woke causes.
Oh, yeah.
That is not a good generation.
I mean, where does it all emanated from, though?
Well, it's entitlement and COVID and anything else you can think of.
I mean, is it COVID or was it before COVID? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, we've been
I
monitored.
can't work out what the age range is for Gen Z.
Well, it's 35 technically and lower. It's a big band, that
Well,
is.
that's a big bandwidth.
It is, but there's where the productivity should be coming from.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
People that can go and get it.
Exactly. Exactly.
And it again doesn't bear well for the future. But don't forget, as we said last week, there was an in-depth survey, and the worst people, in the far left, number one, teachers. That's
Oh,
where they get
yeah.
it
Oh,
from.
gosh. Yes, yes,
They're
yes. Yeah.
brought up and brainwashed.
Yeah, yeah, oh, absolutely. And you do see it in the classrooms. You do see it in the classrooms. They don't want to deal with bullying. They don't want to see the severity of it. There's all sorts. Oh, definitely, definitely. The young teachers. And of course, the schools like to employ the young ones because they haven't got experience and they're cheap.
Yes, the dollar comes into it. Talking about the dollar, uh, President Trump is coming to our rescue. He's actually, and it's real, this I thought it was a joke. He's offering places, green cards for people in the United Kingdom who are under the cosh to go to America. and he can, without the bringing in $100,000, which is the normal way of doing it there, and he's giving them a way out.
What sort of people then? People that have not got a job or what?
And anybody there that they want in America.
Oh, I see. So if they've got a shortage of builders, you come in
Yeah,
like Australia. Like
exactly that.
Australia. Oh, absolutely perfect. Why don't we do that?
Because we're the world's
I'd love to know what he thinks of Keir Starmer. I'd love to know.
really what he thinks about it. Yes.
Really, really, really what he thinks.
Before we go, we've got to touch on what's happening with the rape inquiry because it is truly dreadful when we've got two chairs that have had to go, three or four victims, and there'll be more on the
Oh,
way.
there's five now.
Yeah. And when you are told as a victim, we will give you a question that you can ask the committee. What is that about? That's the setup.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
That
When I
makes
did
a kangaroo court look clean.
It's unbelievable. Jess Phillips needs to go because she never stood up for this inquiry at the start.
So
Violence against women and girls. Well, she's banged on about it for years and it's gotten worse. I haven't
I
seen
don't,
any evidence.
I don't think she's very stable after her bloody.
Well, I don't think she is. I agree. I totally agree with you. But I mean, I'm not being funny. You are talking. I wish I wouldn't keep calling it grooming gangs. They were barbaric rape gangs on an industrial scale. And you're talking to children when they were 12 years old that would rock up at a police station with ripped clothes, bruised, crying, blood coming out of anywhere and everywhere, and then told it's their fault. This is a life choice, being ignored, not believed, and all of this shoved under the carpet in the name of protecting racial harmony. I don't think there ever has been racial harmony, and it
No,
absolutely done. And I don't know how it concerns Starmer. Here we go again. He has great confidence. I can't remember the words he used in Jess Phillips, but he said the same about Mandelson, didn't he? And Mandelson had to go. Here we go. It's like a death wish when he starts saying he's got confidence in you. The clock is ticking.
if the big hand comes out of the sky and it's you,
Yeah,
you've got
yeah,
to be very
exactly.
careful.
But so basically, a quarter of the panel has now resigned. But Jim Gamble, he was a really good Jim Gamble. Now he had the integrity to go because they didn't like the fact that he had been in the police. As it happens, he would have been brilliant, but he doesn't want to be on a panel as a chair if he hasn't got the complete unity of people on the panel. And I can agree with that. And they didn't want the social worker because it was social workers that screwed them up. Quite right. And so did government, so did the council. But has Starmer got his backside up there and said, well, you tell us who you'd like then? What is it you want? Don't tell them what you like. You've never been there. You don't know what it feels like.
And don't forget the veritable Miss Mahmood, who
Oh,
everybody says is going to sweep everything away. The first thing she did and said this very day, oh, this is due to 14 years of Tory rule.
you can't keep saying that.
You
It was
can't.
happening on Blair's government. You can't. I mean, Blair is responsible and his horrible wife for they had the family courts and the silence and the gagging of the family courts. That's all down to Blair. I mean, you can't keep blaming the Tories and the deep hole that we inherited. Crying out loud, the hole's getting bigger by the day.
Yeah, we know the Tories are not innocent at all,
Of
but
course they're not. Of course they're
Labour
not.
are doubly guilty in this. They're doing nothing,
But
kicking
they
into the
lie.
long
Or I've
grass.
never known a government lie so much.
No, no, we've got figures. I mean, Boris got outed, of course, with his stupid Partygate in number 10. That was one thing. I've got 17 things that are twice as bad as that, and the man is still there.
I know.
The sad thing a bit about Britain at the moment.
It's terrible. I don't know how he's such an egotist and he's such a control freak and a narcissist. He won't step down. He's got no conscience.
No, we can't have.
Because otherwise he would say, "Look, people obviously don't want me. I'm best to stand down." He would be there. He's like protected.
I'm looking forward to a surprise. We've got to end on a positive note, and I would hope that he'll be gone within 2 years. Uh,
Oh,
it's
as
just
long as that.
exactly.
I don't know
Anyway,
why we don't have midterm elections like they do in America.
yes, that's another
You
suggestion.
know, it's a long time to go when you've got someone as rubbish as this.
And it is rubbish. We're going, and you're going to cook a fantastic meal. What are you having?
Do you want to know the name of it?
Yes, go on.
Marry Me Chicken.
Ooh, I like it.
Do you
Why
know
do
it?
you call that?
It was somebody that fell onto it by accident and made this thing, and I think it was made in Europe somewhere. And this guy said, "It's why it's called Marry Me Chicken." This guy said, "Oh, if you make chicken like that for me, I'll marry you." And it was called Marry Me Chicken,
Ah,
and it's done with it's quite unctuous. So it's got
I would
cream.
call it can be bought chicken.
It's really nice. You have it Parmesan cheese and cream in it,
Oh, that's
and
nice.
sun-dried tomatoes, and
Really tasty.
it's very tasty. It's got garlic in it, herbs, chili
I'm
flakes.
going to thumb a lift. Uh, Probably be next Friday, so
But you
keep
wouldn't
it
want to
hot.
marry me.
There you go.
Well, have a
Listen,
great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
we will, and no doubt, even over the weekend, there'll be stuff coming out of the cupboard.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's a weird time, isn't it? So hopefully can see you Monday morning because there'll be more to discuss.
Plenty. There's tons.
All right then.
See you
Have a good
later.
one.
Bye.
Bye bye.